Hey guys, I'm Aleisha online and welcome back to my channel. So today I thought, why not do a video about all my celebrity encounters and all the people I've had a chance to meet over the years. I thought, why not talk about some of the cool things I've been able to attend and share some photos and share some stories. And I had a lot of requests to make this video. I had a lot of people messaging me asking me, why don't you do a celebrity encounter video or celebrity storytime video about all the people you've met. We'd love to hear about just like the different people you've had a chance to hang out with over the years and meet at different concerts. And I thought, why not? So here goes. There's a lot of different stories I've got to tell and share. I've got a lot of really cool ones. So I think for this video I will do a bunch of voice notes for some of them, sharing some photos and different things like that, and then I'll also do some video footage. It's just there's so many photos and different stories to get through that, I thought, why not share them in a couple different ways, just all in one huge video and people can watch. And so I hope you guys enjoy it. There's so many to get through, so let's get started. Okay, first up is Khalid. Now, I had the chance to meet Khalid on his American Teen World Tour. It was meant to be at the Auckland Town Hall, but it actually, he sold out and the venue got upgraded to Paak Arena, and I attended that concert on Sunday the 12th of November 2017. Not only that, I actually attended the concert with a friend at the time, and she didn't have an meet and greet upgrade, but I purchased one when I found out you could get them through his website. It was really, really cool. I think the ticket was about like $70 at the time, and then the upgrade was like $100 on top of that sort of thing. It was really, really cool. And I knew it would be like a once in a lifetime chance to actually meet him in person. At the time he was touring here, he did his last show of the world tour, which was the American Teen World Tour in Auckland, New Zealand. It was really, really, really cool. Not only did I get to meet him, my seats got upgraded, so I got to sit front row for his first ever show in New Zealand. It was such a cool experience, and to meet him was like so once in a lifetime. He's such a huge worldwide star now sort of thing, and so he doesn't really do that many meet and greets, that sort of thing. Not half as much as he used to when he was just starting out, say maybe 1 or 2 years ago now. But it was really cool to meet him. He sold out all the meet and greets on his website, and then when the day of the show came, I arrived at the venue early, was waiting in line, got wristbanded, then saw 5 to 10 other fans, and you ended up actually getting a really long time to sort of just chill out and hang out with him backstage in the meet and greet. The first thing he said to me when I walked through the door was how much he loved my outfit and that he loved what I was wearing and that I dressed up for the show. And then he shook my hand, gave me a hug. Not only that, we took a bunch of photos. We talked about his album and his music. He also spent a bit of time with me, and he filmed a couple videos with me, one for one of my friends at the time, just as a shout out, and then another one as a birthday shout out for one of my really close friends, Khalid. And it was her birthday at the time, and I surprised her by getting her a video of Khalid giving her a shout out, which was really, really cool. He was such a lovely person, really down to earth, super genuine. It was just really, really cool to meet him. It was just one of those things that was really once in a lifetime in a way, because he was someone whose music was up and coming on the scene at the time, and now he's super, super, super famous that it's actually hard to meet him at any type of sort of concert or event he does. He's actually due to come back to Auckland, New Zealand in November, and me being me, I couldn't miss it for the second time round, so I grabbed myself a ticket to his show. This time they're a little bit more expensive in price, but I wouldn't miss it for the world. I can't wait to see him perform for a second time on his Free Spirit World Tour. And even though I'm not meeting him this time round, unfortunately, I'm so lucky to have had that opportunity already about 2 years ago, and I'm really, really lucky that I had the chance to meet him. Next up is Kalani. Now, I had the chance to meet Kalani back in 2017. This was on her first ever visit to New Zealand, when she played a show at Logan Campbell Centre for the Sweet Sexy Savage World Tour. Now, this was really, really cool. It was through Live Nation and Flavour, and it was really, really cool. Just the whole event was general admission. It was really, really fun. You just bought like your basic ticket, obviously, and then it was the same sort of thing like Khalid had for his tour, where you could buy meet and greet upgrades through her website. And I got one, I think at the time it was like nearly $200, and that was like Australian dollars through her Australian website or something. So by the time you added all the fees in and everything all up, it was like $200 on top of the $70 ticket I already had just for her show. But it was really, really cool to meet her. She was someone, at the time, not going to lie, I only knew a few of her songs. She'd done, at that time, it was just getting released, was like, she was working on the song for the Fast and Furious soundtrack, and with G-Eazy, and that song was just about to come out, or was already out at that time. She had some other songs out at the time too, like Crazy and a few others. I actually found out about her through a friend. A friend told me about her music and was like, you have to check her out, so I did. I thought it was amazing. I thought she was just super cool. She really brought like a vibe to her music, which was like throwing it back to the 90s, back to that old school feeling sort of thing, and I really, really, really enjoy her music. I am such a big fan even now, and I'm a bigger fan than when I saw her perform, and it was just really cool to meet her. Meeting her was just like so surreal. She had a really cool setup backstage for the meet and greet. It was a huge curtain of her holding a crystal ball, and it was a bright pink curtain hanging in the background of the meet and greet photo, which you'll see, but it's really, really cool. And then not only that, she didn't have time to sign anything personally to everyone because there was like maybe over 300 fans in the meet and greet. It was such a huge line, and they were running a bit behind schedule that day at the event and at the venue, but there was maybe a limited run of maybe about 100 to 150 posters sort of thing that she had pre-signed, which were really cool, which you also would have seen in my previous video that I'd shown you guys. But it's really cool, and only a few people got them. I'm not sure who got one, but I've always kept my one, and it's just really cool that she took the time to maybe give those out. Also, you got like a lanyard given to you, as well as a copy of her CD, which I have somewhere at home. It was really, really cool. She's such a lovely lady, and really down to earth, really cool. She gave me the biggest hug, and we just chatted for a couple minutes. That was like, I love the photo, but just getting to chat to her was one of those like experiences that was way cool, and just like, I thoroughly enjoyed talking to her more than I enjoyed getting the photo, just because it was like such a moment, if that makes sense. And it was really, really special to me just to get the chance to actually meet her, because I became even more of a fan after seeing her perform and meeting her. And she's such a down-to-earth girl. She's actually been here a couple times since that tour in 2017, which was her first ever tour. But hopefully she comes back in the future. I would love to see her perform again. I actually saw her once also again, but I didn't meet her the second time around, which was when she played a show alongside Halsey as the support act for the Auckland show. And yeah, that was really cool. So, okay, so next up is TLC. Now, TLC, I had the chance to meet them back in 2016. It was during a weekend on Saturday, 26th of November at Spark Arena. Their opening act was Montel Jordan, so I knew it was going to be a fantastic concert. Unfortunately, I actually didn't get to see him perform because he was the support act and opening the show when I was backstage at the meet and greet with TLC. But nevertheless, it was such a fantastic concert and a meet and greet, and it was so, so cool. As everyone knows, I'm a 90s kid. I grew up in the 90s. TLC was huge back in the day. They still are today. Those girls are icons. They are also one of my absolute favourite groups of the 90s, one of my favourite girl groups. They sing a bunch of my favourite songs. No Scrubs is like a worldwide hit everywhere, and anyone who knows that song will know of them instantly. It was such a fantastic, that was really once in a lifetime. I can't even really explain that or put that into words. That was such a one of a kind meet and greet. It was kind of a really bittersweet moment, I think, because the only person missing, obviously, in the meet and greet was Left Eye. But it was such a fun opportunity to meet them both, T-Boz and Chili. It was really, really cool. There was a lot of fans at that event meeting them for New Zealand, since it was I think their first or second time in the country at that time. I think they had been here once, sort of thing, prior to their show in 2016, but I can't be 100% sure on that. Don't quote me on that. But yeah, it was really, really cool to meet them. Just growing up as a kid, that was a kid in the 90s sort of thing. Never ever did I ever dream that I would get a chance to meet TLC and just to meet them in person. And they were both dressed in matching outfits, which was really, really cool. But never did I think I'd ever get the chance to actually properly meet them and give them both a hug in person. And the fact that I got that opportunity a couple years ago was really, really once in a lifetime. You only dream of stuff like that happening, and it was really, really cool. So it's kind of one of those things really hard to put into words. Just I grew up with their music. It was a big moment for me to meet them, and it was just so, so special to me. So to get to meet them was really, really cool. Not only that, in the meet and greet, they gave everyone limited edition tour posters, which were to celebrate the tour, which you would have seen in one of my previous videos when I showed it in my celebrity memorabilia collection video. But yeah, no, they were really, really cool and such nice girls, and yeah, it was really, really cool to meet those ladies. So next up, I had the opportunity to meet Shawn Mendes. Shawn Mendes was another really cool person to meet. I had the opportunity to meet him on his Illuminate World Tour. It was really, really cool to meet him a couple of years ago. I've always been a fan of Shawn Mendes and his music, and it was really, really cool to meet him. Not only that, get a photo with him, get some signed merch, attend his concert. I attended his concert, his Auckland show at Paak Arena with one of my closest friends, Khalid, and it was really cool to meet him, get a photo with him, and he also did a Q&A, a 30-minute Q&A session where you could ask him anything you wanted to, which was really cool. You among other fans who had bought a meet and greet package, so it was really cool to meet him on one of his first ever visits to New Zealand for his world tour, the Illuminate World Tour. Charlie XCX, now she is a favourite of mine. I had the chance to meet her kind of by accident a couple years ago. Now, I really, really wanted to see her play her show. When she came to New Zealand, she was playing a show here, a one-off show for an iHeartRadio event. And the only way you could get tickets was to either be invited or win tickets to the event. You couldn't ever purchase tickets. But it was really, really cool. I went to the venue and I waited outside the back door for her where her security was, and they saw that I'd been waiting for 2 or 3 hours, and then other fans started to arrive and wanted to meet her too, but I was the only fan that her security allowed to meet her on her trip to New Zealand. I don't think she's ever really been back to New Zealand since that show that she played, and so she's only ever really been here once or twice, tops sort of thing. But yeah, as far as shows go, that's the only sort of show I know of that she's been to New Zealand for. And because I didn't score tickets, I was lucky enough to meet her. I hope one day I get to see her perform a show, because I'm such a huge fan of hers and I love her music. I've been a fan since like day one. But yeah, it was really, really cool to meet her. Not only the day that I met her, like, she was about to leave around the front entrance, and where I was waiting at the back entrance, so her security took me in her car. And actually, true story, this is actually a really true story, by the way, they took us in her car, in her van, round to the front of the venue so that we could jump out of the car and meet her as she was getting in, because they were getting ready to go to town. And just so that we could like drive traffic away from the back entrance so that other fans wouldn't be waiting there and that people would leave, because her security said that I was the only fan that she would be meeting, because I'd been the one waiting like 2 or 3 hours. So yeah, they took us in her car around to the front entrance. We jumped out of the van. She waited a couple minutes. She was getting ready to come out the front entrance. We got our photos with her, and that was that. And it was really, really cool. I love my photo with her. It's like the photo was taken at like midnight, in the middle of the night, after her show finished, after waiting hours and hours and hours. But she is really, really cool. She's a cool artist, cool person, really just chilled and like, you know, really funny, always down to have like a laugh and a joke. Yeah, but she's really cool to like chat to and super funny. It was really cool to meet her, and I'm super lucky and stoked I got my photo with her. That's a pretty rare photo, I would say, because not a lot of other people got like many photos with her and stuff while she was here. Like, she didn't get spotted by too many fans, I don't think. So it was really cool that I even managed to grab a photo with her, and that's kind of a rare photo I have, to be honest. But yeah, really cool nonetheless. Okay, so MKTO. Now, these boys are really, really cool. They came to New Zealand many, many years ago for a ZM event to play a small show, but they've never really played any other shows here since then, or been back here since then. You guys will all know their hit song Classic and their hit song like Thank You. At the time when they came to New Zealand, all their music was blowing up on the airwaves and on radio everywhere. They did some promo stuff at ZM, because the show that they were playing, like I said about the Charlie XCX one, when MKTO played a show here, it was also a show similar to that, where you couldn't like buy tickets, you had to win them through the radio station. And so because it was an event for ZM, they were doing some promo at the radio station, and I just happened to knew that they would be popping into the radio station that day. So I jumped in my car, we went to town, and I got my photo with them, and I waited outside the venue for a little while, and then after they were doing some promo and radio stuff, then they came out to go to their cars, and I managed to get my photo. It was really, really cool. That was many years ago now, because I'm really young in the photo. But yeah, I can't exactly remember or pinpoint what year it was, but it was really cool to meet them. But yeah, Tony is dressed in a All Blacks t-shirt, and Malcolm has a cool hat on and is just like dressed really casually, pulling the peace sign in their photo. But yeah, he's really cool, and it was so cool to meet the both of them while I had the opportunity to. I know they're back on the scene making music at the moment, but I haven't really heard anything much from them since back in the day when they had their hit songs like Classic or Thank You on the radio. Cool, so next up we have Anderson Paak and Free Nationals. So I had the chance to meet Anderson Paak himself when he came to New Zealand at the beginning of this year. He came and played a show on January the 12th, 2019. It was really, really cool to meet him. I wasn't expecting to meet him. I actually bought a ticket, but then got a meet and greet. Like, I was just going to buy a regular ticket, but then you could get meet and greet packages, which included a ticket, and that was really, really cool. All up, I think the meet and greet and the ticket cost me like nearly $300. it was really, really cool to meet him. Not only that, I got to meet one of the other members of Free Nationals, which was really, really cool. At the time, when I met him backstage, there was quite a few other fans there waiting to meet him too. You got gifted a bunch of merch and you got early entry and a few other things like that. That's why the meet and greet package was a little bit expensive and around $300. But it was really, really cool to meet him. I'd been a fan of a little bit of his music, but not going to lie, I didn't really know a lot of his music and a lot of his other songs and just different stuff he'd done over the years. As an up-and-coming artist, but I heard about him actually and his music through a friend of mine, an old mate of mine, and they were like, you have to check him out, you have to listen to his stuff, and so I did, and then I became a fan, and then I became even more of a fan actually, and instantly after just seeing him perform and seeing how he puts on a show. His shows are fantastic. He has a live band with him, obviously, which are Free Nationals, as well as backup dancers and different things like that. Even at the show, he paid tribute to his friend and other fellow rapper Mac Miller, who had passed away. And so it was really, really cool to see. He had a bunch of photos in the background and just paid tribute to him. But it was a really cool tour to attend. Not only that, I attended the show by myself, went to the meet and greet by myself. It was a really fun meet and greet. When I was at the meet and greet, Anderson .Paak and Free Nationals were having a couple drinks and stuff backstage before the show and at the meet and greet and different things when they were meeting fans. Free Nationals, they did a bunch of photos with some fans and stuff when it was nearing the end of the meet and greet, so not everyone in the meet and greet got to actually meet the Free Nationals, so his band as well as him. I got to meet Anderson .Paak and one of the members, because one of the members was sitting on the couch with us when we were taking photos, having a chat, just chatting and all that sort of stuff. But yeah, there was a few very, very lucky people at the end of the meet and greet who were in line that maybe were running a bit late, but they came last, and they got to meet not only Anderson .Paak but Free Nationals too, so that was really cool. But he's such a nice guy, really funny, down to earth, gave me the biggest hug when we met, and then we just had a bit of a solid chat for a couple minutes and took a couple photos, and that was that.